Welcome to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Today we're going to start out talking about Novavax. We left off our last video saying we would just touch on that a little bit on this video. So we're going to do that starting out. Then I want us to look at something called GBTC. It's actually an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund. Those exchange traded funds kind of like a mutual fund in the old days, and we'll talk a little bit more about what they are. And then we're going to look at another stock that I'm holding now that I'm actually up on about 9%. It's ACB. It's a cannabis stock. We'll take a look at that as well. All right, so let's start with Novavax. Let's jump into there and look at that. When you see that Novavax closed today at 766, pretty good day, 8% up. And then in the after hours, they were another percent or so, and 7%, 7 cents up. Volume in after hours was, it was a little heavy, not too heavy, but take a look at the volume during the day. Here it is, 16.7 million shares traded. It's a lot of shares. Average again, 2.5 million shares on a daily basis. So, like I said yesterday, this one I'm going to wait before I do anything else with this one. I would wait until this thing settles down, that volume gets to something semi-normal. The big boys are still in this one. They're still playing around with it. We'll take a look at that, and we can just show you what happened today. Opened up. Looks like it opened at 788. And you can see here we had a little dip, and then it just shot straight up. Got all the way up to $8 and something there. And then they knock it back down pretty good there to 750 or so. And then it kind of levels out a little bit for the day, kind of holds steady. That was kind of what I was looking for, but I'm looking for a long-term plateau, and I'm looking for some regular volume. But see what happened here. This thing was running around 780, 790, and they knock it all the way down to 736. And what's happening there, when these big boys get involved, they're taking people's shares from them. That people, when they get a run up like that, they'll put a stop loss in. That's a trade that keeps you from it going too far down. They take their losses, or their losses or their gains, wherever they're at. That's their bottom. They say if it hits this level, then I want to sell, and that trade will automatically kick in at that level that they said. It's kind of like a limit trade when you buy, but you're trying to protect your gains or your losses. So that's what they do. They put these orders out there. Somehow or another, I don't know how, but these big boys can see those kind of orders out there, and they'll go down there. They'll drive that share price down and pick those shares up from those people. And maybe they're happy about it, maybe they're not, but I don't ever have those stop-loss trades out there for that very reason. But you can see after they get what they need, this thing starts going back up, and they knock it down a little bit at the end of the day. So it closes today at 766. Pretty good day again, 8% day. Well, we're not going to argue with that. We'll take 8% on the day, any day. All right, so let's look at this other one I was talking about. It's GBTC. That's Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. You see it here, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Now, you probably heard of Bitcoins. That was the craze a year, half, 2 years ago. Everybody was making millions and millions of dollars on Bitcoin, except for your regular people that had no idea what a Bitcoin was. It's just electronic currency. I don't trade Bitcoin. I don't really know how to trade Bitcoin. Don't think I want to learn how. But these folks know how. This is a Bitcoin trust. They do trade the Bitcoin. So I don't worry. And this thing trades Bitcoin price. So when Bitcoin goes up, this goes up. When Bitcoin goes down, this goes down. So I like this. I like this trust. I don't have to worry about Bitcoins and having this digital coin somewhere in a wallet and all that kind of crazy stuff you have to deal with there. So anyway, this is one I've traded. I've been pretty successful trading this one this year and the end of last year. Let's take a look at month chart here. You'll see, back in December here, you're around 875 a share. You did have a good low there of 793, but this thing doesn't go up and down, and because it's a digital currency, it's almost kind of like gold. When the market's down, sometimes this thing is up. So it just varies though. But take a look at it. It goes up and down. I like to buy this thing around $8.50, $8 range. Uh, I'll have to go back and look at the streets on it just to make sure of that. But I think it's $8.50 to $8 that I usually buy this one. Uh, Closer to 8 would be even better. But you can see here, this is at $8.99. It was had a down day of 5% today. So if it can get another 5% down tomorrow, I may buy me a little bit of it. You know, I buy maybe one lot tomorrow, and then if I can get it down to 8, then I may buy another lot. But it just depends how the day goes. Tomorrow is Friday. I don't like to have a whole lot of money out there on the weekends. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be watching tomorrow for a trade of around $8.50 to $8. Okay. Want to show you another one. Again, this is a. Let me say this about this. This is the ETF, exchange traded fund. There's all kinds of ETFs. You can get ETFs that track cannabis. You can get ETFs that track metals. You can get ETFs that track foreign stocks. You can get ETFs that track different sectors of our markets. So this is a good way to trade, and some of these ETFs even pay dividends. So it's a good way to trade. If you don't like to buy single stocks, but you can trade these just like stocks. The dividends, I mean, the fees on these are not expensive at all. Matter of fact, you don't even really notice the fees if you trade them. But this is something I like to trade because this is a good one. It goes up and down. It's pretty volatile, and I like that for us a trading stock. So this is something I do. All right, so let's take a look at another one here. This one here is the one I'm holding. I'm up about 9% on it. Normally, I usually sell by now, but I've had a couple of good trades here lately. And, when I have a good trade, I'm not so worried about getting all the money on the sideline. So we don't want to worry about that. So this is ACB. ACB, you can see it here. Let's see if this is, yeah. So here we are. It's a cannabis stock. It's Aurora Cannabis Inc. You see it here. It's 207 today. It had a trade to sell at 215. It got up to 212, I believe it was. Yeah, 212 was the high. And so I missed my sale. But the trade, the volume on this one's 22 million. This is a 22 million. I think this one averages somewhere close to that anyway. I don't see an average volume on this one, but I think it's somewhere. This was normal, probably semi-normal volume today. This is not something crazy for this one. You see that it has gotten down recently, all the way down here. Let's see, that's a 1 month trade. It was $7. Let's see here. We got the wrong chart up here for this stock. So let me just try to reload this, see what's going on here. And again, the ticker on this one is ACB. ACB. Let's pull it back up here. Let's see. Yeah, now that's the right chart. Okay, so let's look at this chart here. You see, we've got a $2.07 price today on the close. Okay, here we go. Sometimes these computers do what they want to do. That's all right. So we're going to see here. Here's our chart, and you can see it started out kind of low today. That would have been a good time to get in if you were watching this one. And then it kind of shot up there to that 212 mark and steadied out, and then closed up at 207. So this one tomorrow, if I can get this thing to get up there around 215, I'll probably go for it. And I would like 220. That was kind of where I was trying to get to on this one. I've missed it a couple times. But you can see here on this chart here, and it looks like we've been probably around on the 1 month chart here. You see 215, 215. That's usually, I remember seeing 217 the other day. So that's been kind of the norm there. But you can take a look at the 6-month chart, and this thing was way up here around $6 and something. So it's had a pretty good fall. These cannabis stocks, most of them, they were on fire, just like the Bitcoin, about the same time actually. And most of them's gotten clobbered here lately. But this one's kind of, as you can see, it's kind of settled down a little bit. They're still dropping in the long run, so you got to trade these things pretty quick. But that's one I'm going to try to get out of tomorrow. Hopefully I can get up there to that 220 marker. I'll take 215 on a Friday probably. All right, so that's kind of my strategy. That's why I wanted to share that with you. The strategy being, you want to make trades. You want to, I call it pocketing money versus my portfolio going up and down. I like to pocket that money, make that trade. It's kind of twofold. My portfolio, I've got stocks in there. Sometimes they're in there for a year or two before I even trade them, depending on where they're at. Usually the ones I'm holding in my account are not in the green because usually once I get in the green, if I get up to that 6% mark, especially within a year, they're going to be gone. And if it's been a short time frame, like the other one the other day was 2% in 9 days, I'm going to be out of that stock. I'm not going to hold it any longer. So, but if I'm holding something and it's in the red, I'm going to hold it until it turns green or goes out of business in most cases. And that doesn't happen very often as far as them going out of business. But I have held them for years. I held Twitter a long time. I held Facebook a long time. So sometimes it takes a while. But what I do is I kind of separate the two. Get your mind thinking on pocketing money and get your mind set on your portfolio. And you want to have good investments. And so your portfolio, if you're holding something that's going down and you have a lot of confidence in that stock still, then as it goes down, you still want to buy stock. You want to buy that and cost average down to get your share price down towards the bottom. Okay, you can't ever pick the bottoms. So usually when you buy, you're not even close to the bottom a lot of times. And so you buy a lot of shares, a lot, not by a bunch. I'm talking about a lot, a purchase. So you buy that lot at a certain price. If you get lucky and you get the bottom and it goes up, 3 or 4% in a day or two or a week or whatever, you take that money. But a lot of cases, they're going to go down. And so you buy that, you let it go down, whatever you're comfortable with, 3 or 4%, and you repurchase some more shares. I like to buy, a lot and match that lot and match that lot and match that lot, if I had to do it that way. And I'm cost averaging my shares all the way down to a decent price because usually that first lot is not the price that you really should have got in on. But you just never know. So that's how I do it. And I don't have to worry about my portfolio. If it's going down, that's just me having another opportunity to get those same stocks at a better price. And that's the way I look at it. I look at, like, if it goes down 5%, hey, I just got that on sale for 5%. So got to get your mind right. It's a mind game sometimes. It's a lot of it has to do with emotion, the market does. So that's what you need to just try to, have a little strategy there. I like to pocket money, and I like to cost average my portfolio. So that's my strategy. You come up with your own strategy. I have a friend, he trades. He does a totally different strategy, and he does fine too. So, but come up with your strategy. After you trade a few times, you'll feel what you're comfortable with. And it's just something that you develop over time. You won't get it right off the bat. That's why I'm doing this channel, to try to help folks avoid some mistakes or at least learn some tricks right off the bat that will help you in your trading. And I hope this helps you today. And I appreciate you watching my videos. Please like the videos. Please subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about it. We've actually hit double digits on our subscriptions, and I appreciate that at times. are looking good too. I would like to see us like the videos more and sign up for subscribers. That would be awesome. We're going to try to get the numbers up. But I really do appreciate you watching the videos. I hope you're learning something. And if I can help you in any way, leave a comment. I'll be glad to answer the comments, especially now when we don't have too many people on here. That's always an advantage of not having too many people. So have a great day. Have a great day on trading tomorrow on Friday. And I'll get back on here tomorrow night or Saturday night or sometime, and we'll just kind of recap and talk about something new. Okay? You have a great day.